Have you ever imagined having the strength to crush a tank with your bare hands? Or the ability to survive in the vacuum of space for hours without a spacesuit? Sounds insane, right? Well, that's just the starter pack for becoming a Space Marine in Warhammer 40K. In today's video, we're diving into a scientific breakdown of whether a regular human could actually survive the transformation into an Adeptus Astartes. Could our bodies handle 19 extra organs and a complete genetic overhaul? Or is the truth way more brutal than the fiction? Space Marines, or Adeptus Astartes, are the elite warriors of the Imperium of Man in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Think of them as genetically enhanced super soldiers, taller, stronger, faster, and tougher than any regular human. They're the galaxy's last line of defense, facing everything from deadly alien swarms to literal demons. In the grimdark setting of the 41st millennium, war never stops, and Space Marines are basically semi-divine juggernauts, angels of death serving the Emperor himself. Their origin goes back to the Great Crusade, when the Emperor created the Primarchs, godlike beings who became the genetic blueprint for the first Space Marines. Each chapter, like a military faction, descends from one of these Primarchs, inheriting not just physical traits, but also culture and combat style. That's why chapters like the Ultramarines, Blood Angels, and Space Wolves aren't just color-coded. They come with their own philosophies and traditions. Ultramarines are the gold standard of discipline and order, basically the overachievers of the galaxy. Blood Angels? They're stylish, brooding, and tragically cursed with something called the Red Thirst, a genetic flaw that makes them go full vampire mode in battle. The Space Wolves are like Viking werewolves in power armor. They value ferocity and pack loyalty and live on an ice planet full of giant beasts, because of course they do. Despite their differences, all chapters share one brutal mission: protect humanity at all costs. To do that, they undergo extreme mental and physical modifications, so extreme, some would argue they stop being human altogether. They're indoctrinated with unshakable faith in the Emperor, wield powerful bolters that fire mini-explosives, and wear power armor that boosts strength, protects from harm, and even supports life in hostile environments. But even with all that, Space Marines aren't invincible. Demonic entities, advanced alien races like the Necrons or Tau, and even traitor Space Marines, yep, chaos is a thing, can take them on head-to-head. The core idea behind their creation? Humanity needs an unstoppable defense force in a universe where everything wants to kill us, which raises the big question: what would it take for a regular person to become one of these walking tanks? And more importantly, could we actually survive the process? Even before you step into a Space Marine training facility, there's one major hurdle: genetic compatibility. In the Warhammer 40,000 lore, only a tiny fraction of the male population, around 0.00001%, has the right genetic markers to accept the implants without instantly rejecting them. To put that in perspective, in a city of 10 million people, maybe one guy, just one, might qualify. And that still doesn't mean he'll survive the transformation. Also, timing is everything. Candidates are usually recruited between the ages of 10 and 14 because their bodies are still flexible enough to handle the surgeries. After that, your chances of rejection skyrocket. For context, in our real world, even basic organ transplants, like a kidney or liver, can fail despite cutting-edge medicine and immunosuppressants. Now imagine getting 19 brand new organs jammed into your body like it's a DIY project. It's a biological lottery with really, really bad odds. And then there's the training. Calling it brutal would be an understatement. Some chapters recruit from so-called death worlds, planets so hostile that surviving childhood is already proof you're built different. These kids go through trials testing strength, intelligence, courage, and psychological resilience. Some are thrown into the wild with no gear, forced to hunt giant monsters or fend off enemy tribes. Imagine Survivor, but directed by H.R. Geiger. Another key requirement: absolute obedience and an iron will. Show fear or hesitation and you're out permanently. It's like Navy SEALs training. on Nightmare mode. Even among the pre-selected few, less than 10% make it to the final stage, and from those, only a fraction survive the implantation phase. Each chapter also has its own special tests. The Space Wolves might make you wrestle a giant wolf. The Blood Angels might check for empathy and nobility before turning you into a blood-fueled killing machine. The White Scars value speed and mounted combat, while the Iron Hands are into cybernetic upgrades and enduring constant pain. Becoming a Space Marine isn't just about being strong. You need a 1 in a billion mix of genes, psychology, and culture. So you've passed the genetic lottery, survived brutal training, and now it's time for the main event, the transformation. This is known as the Journey of the 19 Implants. These aren't your average prosthetics. We're talking full-blown internal upgrades that turn you into a walking tank. But from a scientific point of view, it's a nightmare buffet of biological overkill. Let's break it down. Secondary heart. A backup heart to keep the blood flowing if the first one taps out. Sounds great until you realize 2 hearts pumping in one circulatory system is like having 2 drivers fighting over the same steering wheel. Expect blood pressure chaos, vessel ruptures, and a red misty mess. Osmodula strengthens bones and fuses ribs for a fortified skeleton. In theory, cool. In practice, your chest would lose flexibility, making breathing nearly impossible, like living in a permanent bear hug from a robot. Biscopea unleashes massive growth hormones. Think steroids on steroids. The result? Muscle tears, tendon snaps, and your bones waving a white flag. Hemastamin modifies blood to work with your shiny new organs. But blood chemistry is delicate. Tweak it wrong, and you're risking clots, strokes, or turning into a human jelly. Laraman's organ speeds up healing by generating Laraman cells. Great for closing wounds fast, but overproduction of scar tissue could clog organs and disrupt function, like duct taping your insides. Catalepsian node lets you nap parts of your brain in shifts. No full sleep required. Except, we need REM sleep for mental health. Skip that and it's hallucinations, memory loss, and a fast track to going full Joker. Pre-Omnor A pre-stomach that neutralizes toxins. Sounds useful, but unless your whole digestive system is redesigned, it's like installing a water filter in a lava pipe. Microbial chaos incoming. Omophagia. Eat someone's flesh, learn their memories. Ethically unhinged and scientifically absurd. Memory storage doesn't transfer via chewing unless you believe in brain sushi telepathy. Multi-lung a second lung system that filters toxins and allows breathing in hostile environments. This might actually work if we redesign the entire respiratory system. Otherwise, it's suffocation with extra steps. Oculobe enhances vision and feeds data to the brain. Think built-in sniper scope. But altering ocular nerves and processing could cause visual distortions or sensory overload, especially if your brain's still running on Windows 95. Lyman's ear grants perfect balance and hearing. No more vertigo, but jamming extra equilibrium sensors into your inner ear might just give you motion sickness forever. Congrats, you're now carsick on foot. Sussen membrane allows you to enter a death-like coma to survive extreme trauma. Amazing in emergencies, until you realize resuscitation could be tricky if your squad forgets the on button. Melanochrome alters skin pigmentation to resist radiation. Good luck at the beach, your tan might turn you pitch black. While plausible in theory, it would mess with vitamin D production and temperature regulation. Oolitic kidney filters blood of poisons and controls metabolism, better than your regular kidneys, until the immune system says nope and starts a civil war in your torso. Neuroglottis lets you taste and chemically analyze substances like a walking forensic lab. Handy, but licking unknown matter isn't exactly recommended behavior, even with upgrades. Mucrinoid lets you sweat a waxy substance that protects against vacuum and extreme conditions. Cool sci-fi idea, but good luck not sliding out of your armor like a greased otter. Becher's gland spits acid. Yup, acid. Think venomous cobra, but angrier. Unless your mouth is lined with titanium, that's a dental disaster waiting to happen. Progenoid glands. Not really an enhancement, but vital for harvesting gene seed to create more Marines. These are like biological USB drives, essential to keep the whole Space Marine species going. Black Carapace, the final upgrade, a subdermal mesh that links your nervous system directly to your power armor. Basically, you're Iron Man, but wired in permanently. Any misfire in the connection, though, and it's nerve overload with a side of screaming. Even if we had futuristic gene editing tools and cybernetic enhancements, stacking all 19 of these modifications would be like building a race car using IKEA furniture and a dream. The chance of everything syncing up perfectly? Almost zero. In the real world, even double organ transplants are high risk. Try 19, and you've basically bought a one-way ticket to the morgue, deluxe edition. But hey, at least you'd look cool on the way down, right? Could you be a space marine? The short answer, nope, not happening. Even with miracle-level medical tech, a normal human body just wouldn't make it through the transformation. Each implant is a massive biological hurdle, and combining them all is basically a death sentence. But there's a deeper question here. Even if it were possible, would it be worth it? Sure, you'd get monstrous strength, insane resilience, and the chance to defend humanity from cosmic horrors. But you'd lose your individuality, empathy, maybe even your soul, depending on how you see Astartes' indoctrination. So we're throwing it to you. Would you go through with the transformation? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep scientific dives into the wild worlds of fiction. See you in the next one.